it is important for everyone in our brokerage to know the New Mexico real estate license law changes and changes to the Commission's rules effective January 1, 2012.
I've heard that there are no significant changes, so why do we have to stay for this meeting? If you know it all already, then this is one monstrous waste of time, at least for me.
Well, there are a number of important changes, and this is why we are having this meeting. We cannot afford to call ourselves professionals if we do not keep up with changes.
Okay, tell me what you know and I will lend you my ears. After all, you are only doing your job as qualifying broker.
For starters, license law was changed, effective July 1, 2011, stating that if any person, and I emphasize any person, and that means you, Ralph, violates any provision. And, Ralph, I mean any provision, large or small, signage, advertising, failure to make any broker duty required disclosures, make you, Ralph, guilty.
You've got to be kidding. Guilty of what, pray tell?
Guilty of a criminal offense, guilty of a fourth-degree felony, Ralph, meaning being in prison for a definite term of 18 months plus a fine up to $5,000.
Yikes, how does this work? Just by being licensed I may be liable for imprisonment even though no one was wrong? Now, I'm paying attention, surely.
Okay, Ralph, now that I have your attention, I will continue, but listen carefully, because there is a lot more for you to know. Next, qualifying brokers must now keep complete records, not for 3 years, but now for 6 years, and property managers for 6 years after the termination of their agreement. Next, if a qualifying broker manages any number of units, she must have a property designated property management trust account, if managing any number of units, Ralph. Next, property managers must give final accounting to owners within 60 days, before it was within 45 days, but the window for doing so is now longer. Next, with a specific owner's written permission, a property manager may deposit the property manager's own funds into that property management trust account.
Boom, surely, that's commingling and that is against the law, and you are telling me it's now okay? And, why in tarnation would a majority even want to do such a thing? This is weird.
Well, a property manager can, and Ralph, a listing broker, during the listing term may, help maintain the property for marketing purposes and not be a property manager. Next, a qualifying broker is indisposed or worse, Ralph, a spouse, corporate officer, or responsible person can appoint a broker in charge to maintain business continuity. Next, a qualifying broker can now be absent without naming a broker in charge as long as she is able to maintain active supervision of all real estate activities. And a qualifying broker may at the same time be licensed as an associate broker with another qualifying broker at the same time, as long as there is the necessary contract agreement. Next, a qualifying broker may compensate a person whose license is now inactive or has expired, as long as that person's license was active when the transaction was created. Next, the continuing education exemption for those who reached age 65 with 20 years licensed experience after July 1, 2011 no longer exists. Too bad for you, Ralph.
I cannot believe this. I would qualified for the exemption by August.
Well, the C will not hurt you, Ralph. I think you need it anyway. Next, broker duties. Item C now only holds brokers responsible for performing what they have promised in writing. And, the criminal background check has been replaced by a fingerprinting requirement of cards submitted to the Department of Public Safety with a certificate to the Commission.
Phew. Surely is that all? I have places to go and people to meet.
Well, Ralph, you had better get your act together or I will have you arrested.
Oh, come on Shirley, you are my qualifying broker. You would not do that, surely, not after the Carmel Builders Appeals Court decision making you responsible for my behavior?
No, Ralph, I would simply turn your license back to commission from whence it came. Only kidding, sir, but watch your step for both of us.
I will, and I am so glad my qualifying broker is on top of things.